Hey, what's up guys? Danny here, and today I want to do a video that's different from my usual stuff such as hardware benchmarks and gameplay. Today I want to take a look at an awesome $500 gaming PC build that will allow you to easily play games at 1080p 60fps, and that includes some of the most popular titles. Now if you're interested in building a PC around a $500 budget, you don't necessarily have to use the exact same parts that I have in this build. You can customize your PC so that it suits your preference. You can use this video as a guideline to get you started. Just note that prices may vary depending on when you're watching this video. So without wasting any more time, let's just get right into this build. So for the CPU, I went with Intel's new Core i3-6100 based on their 6th generation Skylake architecture. Yes, I went with Skylake for this build because it will allow you to better future-proof your system. Along with that, the price of DDR4 memory is now getting very close to DDR3, which makes this CPU on the LGA1151 platform to be a very viable choice. This is a dual-core CPU with hyper-threading enabled for a total of 4 threads, so this processor will allow you to easily multitask, play games that support more than 2 threads, and even do some light streaming here and there. Having more than 2 threads is very crucial in my opinion, as more and more games are starting to take advantage of those extra threads. The CPU will offer great bang for your buck with its strong IPC performance. There's a benchmarking video that you can check out on Digital Foundry's channel where the i3 in some cases had bested the classic i5-2500K. Also, I'd like to mention that it comes with a stock fan, so you don't have to go out and spend extra money on an aftermarket cooler. For the motherboard, we have the Gigabyte GA H110M LGA1151 motherboard. This is a great micro ATX motherboard from a brand that I can vouch for, with plenty of options for hardware expandability. It comes with 2 slots for support for dual channel memory, 1 PCI Express 3.0 x16 slot, and 2 PCI Express X1 slots so you can add in something like a sound card or a PCI Express SSD later on if you wish to do so. Also, you get plenty of options in the back I/O, such as 2 USB 3.0 ports and 4 USB 2.0 ports. Above average layout for good cable management within a case. Overall, a fantastic motherboard that will get the job done. Moving on to the memory, I went with a pair of 4GB sticks of G-Scale Ripjaws V-Series for a total of 8GB running in a dual channel configuration. This RAM is clocked at 2133 MHz, and 8GB of RAM is a great amount for today's gaming requirement, even though there are many games that might have a 16GB of RAM as a recommended specification. Those games will still run just fine. I myself am running 8GB of RAM in my PC and I've had no issues at all with gaming, and I can play the latest games just fine as well. For the storage, the most appropriate way to go within this budget would be to get a traditional mechanical hard drive that has mass storage. The Western Digital Blue hard drive is a great option for storage. It's reliable, has decent speeds, and will fulfill all your needs. At this price point, having an SSD wouldn't really make much sense, since you will be sacrificing a lot of storage. Sure, you might be able to have much faster boot times, but games these days are getting huge, where they require as much as 60GB of free storage. An SSD is something that can easily be added into the system as an upgrade later on. For $50, you're getting a storage solution that will hold your operating system, your important applications and software, and games. I personally used this drive before I upgraded to an SSD, and it did the job phenomenally. Also, Western Digital is a very reputable brand. They have a good track record, and I have used quite a few of their drives before, and none of them ever gave me any problem. Now for the most exciting part of this build, the graphics card. This is where most of the money in this build went towards. So I decided to pick the XFX Radeon R9 380 graphics card with 4GB of VRAM. This is a solid graphics card if you're gaming at 1080p. With this card, you should be able to play pretty much all the latest games out right now, such as Star Wars Battlefront, GTA 5, The Witcher 3 at 1080p with high to ultra settings and obtain a really consistent frame rate. Overall, with this card, you can expect a really smooth experience. But say you don't want to get this card and are looking for an alternative solution for whatever the reason may be, then I would suggest you go for the Nvidia GeForce GTX 960, which is a card that is priced around the same and performs similarly to the Radeon R9 380. Powering the whole system, I picked the EVGA 600W 80+ bronze power supply. This is a great unit from EVGA. They make durable and quality power supplies, and this one here will work just fine for your build. Just note that this isn't a modular power supply, but at this price point, I wouldn't be complaining too much. Also, this power supply will give you a little bit of headroom for any future components you might want to add. And finally, holding all the great components together, we have the Corsair Carbide Series Spec 01 ATX mid-tower case. This is a great case, it has plenty of room to work inside it, and the extruded area on the panel behind the motherboard will allow you to easily manage your cables. This case has many options for cooling, and will provide you with ample airflow to cool your entire system. You have room for two 120mm or two 140mm fans in the front, one 120mm at the rear, and two 120mm fans in the top. There is also one red LED fan included at the front. I personally own the Spec 02 version of this case, and I really like it. It has everything that I mentioned before, except it has one extra fan mount on the bottom, and an additional included fan. I also really like it aesthetically. I'm a fan of the red and black color scheme. Plus, you have a side window to show off all your internals. This case has a very aggressive look to it, which to me makes it seem very badass. I also like to mention that these cases can easily accommodate for long video cards. So if you guys are interested in how this case looks with the finished build, then check out my video where I showcase my 2015/2016 gaming setup. I'll leave a link to the video down in the description below. I recently did a build for one of my friends in the Spec 01, and he's been very satisfied with it. Since I own the case myself, I might be a bit biased about it, but honestly, it really is a remarkable case. You're really getting a lot for your money here, and at this price point, it really doesn't get any better than this. Well, that pretty much concludes this video. If you found this to be informative and helpful, please leave a like. Leave any questions or thoughts down below in the comments section. And if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, then make sure you're subscribed. Take care guys, and I'll see you in the next one.